Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of our home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs.
So before I start on the cabinet, or carry on with my cabinets, I bought a new blade for my track saw because this blade was starting to burn on the plywood. Every time I cut something, you could see the burn marks, and I don't want that on the edge of the cabinet. I also bought a slightly longer but a new Makita track saw track, basically. So I do have to trim this edge, and I'll do that in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to take the old blade out. I'm not going to ditch this blade. Our local builders merchants, there's a guy there we give the blades to, and he takes them off and sharpens them in a week, and it's normally about 20 euros, something like that, to get the blade sharpened, because a new one is around 50 euro, and they are expensive. Hiding somewhere, there he is, in the side of the handle, just there, the Allen key. That there is the brake, standard thread. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but the tips of the blade are all starting to blacken. And as I said, it says specialised for plunge saws. I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean out first. Right, place the new blade on, take the protective cover off. Writing outside, it was going basically anti-clockwise. Put the old one back in so I can take that to the builders merchants. So on the new Makita or any track saw, you have a rubber cut line here, the splinter rubber, and you need to trim that off. So with the new track saw all cut and level, pretty nice actually, a lot better than the last one I did, and the new blade in the track saw, I'm all ready to carry on with those cabinets. Right, I'm going to attempt to build a cabinet, my very first cabinet, and it is for the tech room, between that small gap between the metal cabinets and the wall. And then I've got to finish off the worktop and get all of that smoothed in, oiled, and then it will be ready to use. So I have drawn up a quick plan. I've got my cut list using some spare leftover ply, 22mm and 18mm, a bit oversized, but that's what I've got. So first of all, I'm going to cut these sides. Right, so new track, new blade, first cut. Let's go for it. Perfect. What I've got to do now, before I cut these widthways, this is the height, I'm going to cut a rabbet down this bottom edge, and that's going to coincide with the 22mm base that I'm going to put on it. So I'm basically going to cut a 10mm rabbet into here, 22mm wide, and then that will allow me to fit the two sides on top of the base. You'll see what I mean when I'm doing it. So I've set my depth to 10 millimeters, which will actually be width on the side panel when I put it up vertically. So I'm going to cut the first cut along here, which is the 22 mil width of the base, and then move slightly. I'll do a series of cuts to basically take away the material to leave the rabbet. Let's come up okay. The little lines and everything. The only one here, it's just the last one where it must have dipped down slightly, which is a bit of a pain. There is no stopping her now. She's got her music on, her tunes, in a little armchair. Is your mum cutting all that grass for you to run along? Hey? Right, I'm quite happy with these cuts. I've got them near enough, well, they are exact, 460. So I've got the two sides and the base. I now have to put in, I've got to make these two top struts here and a couple for the back. Because at the back, I've got to be able to access this conduit down here. So I've got to make a panel down there and a panel here, and then a little access door just in the middle that I can probably unscrew. Got all the pieces now cut. It took a while, but I think I'm getting there with the track saw. It's just more practice. I'm making this cabinet basically so I can figure out whether I'm up to building all my cabinets for this back wall. I was looking at prices of pre-made, garage units or kitchen units, but I'm not too keen on just kitchen units. But I think I might have a go. If this works out well, once I put it all together and it doesn't look like some crooked house, then I'm going to give it a go for this back wall as well. Before I actually put all the cabinets together, I'm going to have a go at putting the hinges on. So I've not ever put hinges on before. So I bought this kit from the local DIY store. So I've got this auger bit, or what's it called? Forstner bit. I was looking at all the, Craig and Axminster jigs to do all of this. And then from the store, this was like €1.25, this little plastic thing. It's got instructions. So I'm just going to follow these and get these hinges on first and then put it all together. Well, Julie's only just finished the grass. She's gone round it about 100 times. It's, pretty short now. Probably the shortest it's ever been. I can't wait to get some animals on it and then we won't have to use it. But these hinges are just... if it's DIY, then it's super DIY, because that Forstner bit needs some sort of jig. If not, it just rattles around. Hence, I bought my pillar drill, clamped everything down, basically to make a jig, so I could put that on, just a test piece. So it seems to work okay. This is on 22, it will be on only 18, but I think I've sussed it out. But because I've spent so long on this, I've run out of time now. So I'm going to carry on doing the cabinets tomorrow. So I want to move this scaffold outside and replace it with a zero turn, but I'm getting overwhelmed with boxes. Now these boxes are the shadow foam kits for my tool chests in the tech room. So I might just give it a go of cutting these to size, and then I can get them in the drawers out the way. Just saves another load of space. I'll just ditch those boxes back at home and get them off to the recycling. And then I'll get this out and get the zero turn in. Now, shadow foam I found on the Colin Furze site, the guy that's building the big tunnel, and shadow foam did a big tool wall for him. But I've been following his channel ever since, and he basically makes lots of basic tool chests and all these tool things. You know, it's you can get quite jealous of him. So I'm going to put this in. I don't have to cut. These are all for the tools, so I'll cut these out to the shapes of the tools here. But I can just get these in the drawers for now, and as I said, they're out the way. The shadow foam comes with a cutting kit, and it's got various shapes and things like this. Glues, all this stuff, cut proof gloves, and a big knife, and lots of cutting blades. So it's pretty good. I've already cut one to size, so I'm hoping I can just use that as a template. That's perfect. And then when I decide which tools go in which drawer, I can lay them all out, trace around them with the Stanley, and then just peel away that black and it'll leave the red. Hence being called shadow foam. Thanks for the comments about the zero turn. Julie's loving it. She's never off it now. But yeah, we're a bit worried storing it around the back there. My plan is to build a door onto that annex. It was just going to be a carport, and we're going to move that zero turn into the garage and get this scaffold out, which nobody really wants to nick anyway. There we go. So I've done the hinges. I did it off camera just in case it all went wrong, but it seems to have gone okay. So now I'm just putting it together. So bit of glue. And I'm going to put some brads in. Old packing case from the garage door, so I'm just seeing whether I can use it for the backing instead of thick ply. Right, not very nice to cut that. Right, that should work. This is the gap here for the conduit, the electrical conduit, so I can get to it. Yeah, there's no reason to block it in really. I'll see when it's in there. I might be able to plant a nice piece and just screw it in. I've checked the square and it's perfectly square. So now I'm just going to put this on to brace it all up nice. I'm going to get this door prepared so Julie can get some stain on it. I'm just going to take some of the edges off, basically put a round over on it, and that will allow it to shut against the wall and also just look a bit nicer.
One prepared door. I'm off to varnish it. Come on, piggies. So while Ian's busy in the tech room finishing and preparing for this door front, I'm just going to give it a quick coat of zero colour, but it's protection for the wood. I'll get this going. Hopefully it'll dry nice because it's quite sunny this afternoon.
We went to get some spacers and we seem to have come back with a blooming monster tree. Yeah.
Julie got a bit distracted.
Julie.
Yeah, we found an olive tree.
Oh. Right, now back to these cabinets.
And my third coat of varnish. So the door front for the cabinet Ian's been making in the tech room, I've given it now 3 coats of clear varnish, matte, and whilst we were out and distracted with the olive tree, one of the purposes of going out was to find a handle. So we got a little brushed stainless steel recessed handle. That should look quite nice. So I bought this olive tree. I don't have, this is where it's permanently going to be, but we still have a lot of levelling and work to do here. So for the time being, I'm going to keep him in his pot, but I'm just going to dig a hole big enough that I can keep him in the ground and he'll stay moist and I don't have to worry about it drying out or falling over in the wind. That's my little olive tree in his temporary permanent position, because we do have to lift it once we get more soil to build this level up, but that'll keep him safe for now. Oh, it's a mini garden already.
And we only went out for spacers. Right. And then as you see in here, if you can see the light, that's why I left the gap in the back so I can get to all the conduits. I'm glad I've got this in. As I said, I'll bring the biscuit jointer down tomorrow and get this part in. But the storm has started to come in. It's about a day early. This is the remnants of Hurricane Kurt coming across the Atlantic, like I mentioned before. I'm glad I got those ties down on the solar panel. Pretty pleased I put the guy ropes on now. Julie said, why did she need lights on her mower? She's still going. Way past our dinner time. And the dogs. Just putting a couple of straps to join them together and keep them flat. So I'll just do a little bit of sanding just so I could see if I could fill these gaps in. I've got a tiny little gap here at the front. And I'm just going to go and get some sawdust just to fill it in. The rest is alright, I think. For a workbench. As I said, it's not a kitchen top. Good morning. Right, we're back up here. Let's get back to finishing off this workbench let's get it done. It's been hanging over my head for quite a while now, so I'm going to finish it all off, and then I can move in basically and get rid of some of this mess in this garage. So I left last night and this was all sanded, nice and sanded. This is fly poo. So I'm not sure, I've never seen it before I came to France, but this stuff here, it's either fly poo or those stinky bug poos, I'm not sure, but that was just from last night. Messing up before I've even oiled it. Right, let's get this done. That seems to have worked okay. So what I'll do, I'll just round off these edges on the front of the shelf, and I might put a blocker board in the back here. So I'll screw it onto the shelf and then slide it in as sort of a big cross. I really need a mask. I haven't got any in here. Yeah, I'll have to find some. For the back plate of the shelf to cover in that conduit to the back, I'm just going to use my wooden dowels. I need to use them for something. So I've just marked them up. I'm now going to come in, mark up my top board, just make sure I'm getting the right lines. Because I'm having top and bottom back plates, I don't want to put them in the same line, because if not, they'll drill through. So it's that one there. I'm going to set my stopper so it doesn't come all through the bottom of my shelf. And then I'm going to drill them through. And you get these little brass or copper pins. I've only got 4 and I've got 5 holes, so I'll have to move one over. And then you tap that down or press. And that should have left some little indents in the bottom, which it has. I want to be able to take them out if need be. Right. Look at that. Let's tap him down. Let's have a look. Oh. I think that works. I think that's job done, I think. Well, the storm wasn't too bad in the end. A bit breezy, a few little branches on the roads came down, but the solar panel, all good. I've taken the guy ropes up and it's now tracking the sun.
And just one other project we just couldn't resist doing. Come with me. We've installed the lights, and wow, it's super bright in here now. So you can see all what Ian's been up to. The worktop, all his benches. We've installed the cupboard. Nice solid door, it's lovely. And something else we've done, we've installed the all important coffee station. So we're all sorted. The only thing that's missing now, we've ordered 2 high back stools. So we've actually got somewhere that we can actually sit and relax in between doing things. One more project which we'll be doing next week. We've received our air conditioning unit, so that's going to get installed here, and you'll see that next week. So for me and Ian, thanks again for watching. A cheeky Julie's thumbs up. We survived the so-called storm. We didn't do too much damage here. Catch you next week, and have a good week everyone.